So today we're going to be installing the fire suppression system in the comp car. So I pulled the passenger seat out to make it easier on us over here. First thing we're going to do is weld a bracket on right here on the other side. So let me start welding that. I'll show you what that looks like. And the bracket's going to simply just hold the fire suppression system in the right spot. So see, if you have the fire suppression system within arm's reach and it is less than 12 inches from any window, you're only required to have one as of right now, so 2019. So we're going to install it on the driver's side, right over there where those towels are. And that's going to be the location so I can pull it, and so whoever comes up to the car, if it's on fire, can pull it as well. So let me show you how we're mounting it. So don't know if you can see it, but this is the tab we welded on. I literally just welded it on and then welded it to make it really simple. And what's going to happen is this guy is going to mount right here and is totally in reach of the driver's hand, and it's only about 2 inches from the window, so it will pass tech and be nice and perfect. Also, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running the cable, because they give you quite a long cable. Cable is going to be running down through the back of this, through this hole, which I'll show you how that goes, down through here, around the bottom of the car, and then we're going to put it in the back where I've just mounted the fire bottle. So let me show you that side. Okay, so the reason why we mounted the fire bottle in the center of the car is when we last threw it on the quarter balance scales last week, the car was perfectly balanced. So we're trying to keep that balance as much as possible. So we're adding the bottle right in the center of the back of the car. It's pretty simple. The mounting kit is 2 brackets, and they have a little base plate. Base plate, you just, we riv nutted it. So I normally drill 2 self-tappers, bolt it in where I want it, then pull the self-tappers out, put the riv nuts in, riv nut the 4 riv nuts, and now I can riv nut it and bring it in and out as much as I want, make it nice and easy. Clamps, I point them up to where they're easy to access. Also, you notice the safety tag and the registration or the date tag on this is pointed up, along with this guy being up and the pin easy to access. So the pin will come right up the top right here. The gauge is easy for someone to see looking in through either window, the driver or the passenger side, so tech can visually see it. And you can grab it through the window right here and pull the pin out, no problem. So I'll make a little pull thing so you can pull the pin out, make it safe to drive with, and you'll be safe there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run the cable all the way through the car, back up to the front over there that just got painted. And the next thing after that is we're going to run the lines, and I'll show you how we run the lines and why we run them the way we are. So we ran the line tucked in there and then tucked right there in that hole, around back in here to hide it, and then it's just going to loop this way and plug straight in right here to this little pin. Then you have an Allen that locks it down in the top, so we can do that. The line is all done and good to go. This has to come back out, so we're just kind of mocking it up. But now we're making the line. The line's going to come this way, and start coming this way towards the front. Now the most important part about the fire suppression system is where everything is pointed. So we're going to run it this way, and the first thing is we're going to spray is towards this direction. So we're actually going to point it that way from right here, like this, because we're running a stock fuel cell, but these lines come out of the fuel cell, run up, and then into the rear through the firewall. So if we are going to have a fire, I want to make sure that this gets put out first. Then we're going to continue up through basically right next to the center column area, run it straight down here. We're going to have one over here spraying that way to make sure if anything does try and come through the firewall up front, that will be sprayed and done. Then we're going to go through there and spray down the engine. So I'll show you as we go through and how we build it. Okay, so now we're going to build this part, the fun part, the lines. All right. So I like the other style a little bit better, the one that comes with the AN lines, that you just make the AN lines and go from there. But this style works perfectly well. This is the one we're going to be using. So the nozzles look like this. They have 6 holes in them, 3 of them pointed in one direction. So you can put it whatever way you want to spray it. So that's pretty simple. These guys are simple, just little locks. So they just fit in, slide them in, normal typical flares, and they just lock in. That's how these are set up. So I've made one, and then I figured it might be important to kind of show you guys how we made them. This one's going to be a short one that's going to point off to the side. This is going to be the first one in the line of the hoses. So here's number 1. then I will show you what we got to do. So basically you take this guy and this guy, so slide this one on first, take this one, slide this one down as well, and you want it to basically fit the flare. So I think I made a little test flare. Here's a test flare. That's what it'll look like after you're done flaring it. And what will happen is that this part will lock in like that, and then the AN line, or the actual nozzle itself, when you tighten this side in, this will fit in and press in just like that. So that'll look like that, and then obviously you have the little guy to lock it on. So there we go. Go like that, and then the line will protrude out the other end. So that's what we built here, just a longer one. And the next part is what you do is you take this guy. If you have not used one, they're pretty simple. You take the side of this, measure how high you need it, so right about there is how high. Then you take it and tighten it down. Try and get it as even as possible. It seems to clamp a lot better. This is a Craftsman one, so this one's pretty good. I have used other ones that are not very good, some cheapo ones, but this one tends to be pretty good quality for what it is. They're relatively inexpensive also. So there we go, get it pretty flat. This guy, if you notice, has a little chalice on it and a little locking mechanism, so twist it over there. Push this guy on, and we're doing a single flare, so very, very simple. Not a bubble flare or anything high-tech. These are bubble flares for brake lines, that type of stuff, or hydraulic like e-brake lines. So fit it on there. Twist this guy. If it's a soft line, which these are, you just twist it till it stops and then back it off. If it is a hard line, like a real hard line, you stick this part in the vise. That's why it's designed this way, so this can be in the vise and you can really wrench down on it if you need to. Then we pop it out. Normally you can slide it out the bottom, but because we have this big fitting, you actually have to take this off like that. Comes off like that, and of course, because I was talking, I forgot to put the end on it. So what we should have done was put this end and this end on it. So I'm going to chop this off and then do it one more time the right way. So bear with me. Well, actually, who cares? Here we go. So how you cut them, same way, is you put it in here. Slide that in there. If you notice, the little ring can go right there, so you can cut them pretty flush or as close to it as possible. Tighten it down and then simply spin it. Tighten it a little bit more, spin it some more, tighten it some more, spin it some more. And it will slowly work its way all the way through to where the head of this will be cut off. There you go. So it's all cut off. You're good to go. You can use the back of this in here. Clean it. Now it'll look like this. And now if you do it the right way, put this guy in here, slide this guy on like that, and go back through the process one more time. So luckily I didn't screw myself up too bad. I have just enough to do it one more time the right way without having to make another line. So tighten it back down. Lock this guy on here. Go until it bottoms out or till it's done flaring. There we go. Spin this guy, unlock this. Spin this guy and this guy. Unlock that, drop it out, and now you have the short line, which is probably the hardest line that you'll ever have to make on here. And this guy can point any direction you want. When you lock it down, just make sure you point it in the direction that you want it to go in. So here's the line. We're going to continue to make the rest of the lines, but that's how you make the simple lines for this system. Okay, so we finished plumbing it and we tightened it all up. So now it runs this way. It's all nice and tight. Runs this way up against and with this thing. So I'm going to put like a little zip tie to hold that there. Runs down, bent nice and straight, all the way there, then runs up in there. One runs over there to spray off the, like, underneath the driver, and then one runs out that loop, out through that hole, and the final one sprays right here. So it just sits here and dumps everything out of the motor. So that part's done. We're all good to go. We have one last part to do to finish this part of it up. This cable, the end wire is too long. So what happens is when this goes in, you pull the cable over there on the little fire cable right there, and this cable will slide into the sleeve. Once it clears the end of the bottle nozzle, it'll actually let the plunger plunge up and fire the nozzle. So that it goes right in through here and out there, and once you pull it, it's like pulling the pin. It'll just dump all the fluid. So we have the set screw ready. We just need to chop the end of this, which I have marked right here with a yellow marker, and clean that up, and then it will slide right on in, and that will be the end of it. Okay, so we got the cable in. We're good to go. Pulled the pin out. It's nice and armed. Not that we're gonna spray it right now. And we have this pin out as well. So I put the rear pin back in the bottle to test the pull cable. So the cable's here, and if you notice, boom, pull cable works. We're good to go. And then we can put it back in. So now it's back in the bottle. Well, it's trying to be. I gotta adjust it on the bottle side, but that'll go back in. So that's the way you know that it clears. It actually pull it out. It knows. You know that it clears the end of the bottle. So we're good to go there. And that's pretty much the end of our. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. And we will see you guys very shortly out of the track. If you like the video and enjoy the videos, then press like at the bottom. If not, no big deal. And if you enjoy all of our videos, go over to the right and click subscribe. It'd really support us in building more videos and making more good content. So hopefully this helped you guys out and keeps your car nice and safe and not on fire.